So hello everyone, today I'll be continuing NPSC Public Administration. So like last time I'll be focusing on two questions, each different topics, and the purpose of this video is to make you understand how to write in the exams. So let's get the video started. So question number 26 is the blame poor for our poor public sector performance can be laid on the way our bureaucracy is structured. So this question was asked in 2007, 200 words. So question ba ko ki moala administrative bureaucratic structure ba kina ona public sector do poor performance ko not only about PSUs but also PSPs, that is public sector banks, and also various other uh, government administered offices can kile biawa perform korase under bureaucracy. So first of all, bureaucracy kana problem ki ase kule to red tapeism ase. What is red tapeism? Red tapeism is the act of following strict rules and regulation by the bureaucrats for carrying out the work, however urgent the problem may be. Means kiman be problem urgently be ekta process follow korle like for example ekta paper put up korle ekta file ekta put up korle which is very important, but itu similar structure ba follow koro, that is LDA ba UDA ba superintendent ba inga. So the urgent matter say we can bypass the work from LDA to directly superintendent, but following rules and regulation, the strict rules and regulation red tapeism ba bishi time consume kore. Second of all, ke is equal to circumlocation. Circumlocation means the circling of files and documents in an office. That means ekta office ti jaise, suppose the transport office ti jaise ekta paper ekta put up korle, so ekta section ba ekta section jabego, itu aro to section ba aro ekta section te jabego, aro to section ba ekta section na sign lina aveko enga. So this is circumlocation, like the office te berau dio bishi because of the various work procedures. Third of all, the case to nepotism ase. Nepotism in the sense like higher ups can ta nijola for relatives or close relatives can be appoint kore offices there. So this is nepotism. The next is corruption. We already know the use of money to buy posts and various vacancies without going through the legal method. So these are some of the problems of bureaucracy that have led to poor performance in public sector. So you can write in point wise, that is first red tapeism ho conditional rules and regulation bishi follow kore. Second, circumlocation, that is ekta jaga file put up korala aru tege office te bishi berao dia, this is also known as circumlocation. Next is nepotism, that is appointment of close relatives by the bureaucrats in the offices. And next though corruption as a next though since the public sector is government owned, it does not induce any uh, willingness to do work. So these are some of the problems. So if you look at the answer, India received a highly centralized bureaucratic model from as a British legacy. Moana British rule by ki inherit kushikuli to centralized bureaucratic model, means power to sub to center te thako aro as we go down power to komti na jago. Continuing with this trend, the bureaucracy is rather given additional functions of development and socio-economic transformation. Administrators would act as champions of grievances and marginalized and exploitative market forces. The result of such highly bureaucratized setup was that every action, however small be it, was taken on a concept of bureaucracy. That means kiman be problem hole be bureaucracy kana kota no na to tan eco proceed no red tapeism coupled with deficit in the field of responsiveness, transparency, and accountability prevailed. That is, red tapeism already conditional rules and regulations strictly follow korla with deficit in responsiveness. That means one ekta RD ekta fill up kurse or PI ekta fill up kurse uto office pa equal response na it shows that they are not responsive. Transparency means mala fund allocation do palba public angi display no. So this is transparency. Deficit of transparency and accountability. That means the bureaucrats are not accountable for the actions. That means the key action kurase suppose do fail ho ja. So idu bureaucrats kala tala ta nijo ke blame nule na tan blame game dekhile. That means ye ekjon ba kubo taiba kurise ekjon ba kubo taiba kurise. So these are some of the problems of bureaucracy. The public sector enterprise, considered as the temples of modern India, also remain highly bureaucratized. Lack of competitiveness, unwillingness to do work, and complacency means paisa baisi government job so we will not do any work, led to this downfall. Political indifference, rigid regulation, and license rush were deeply ingrained. The role played by private sector was minimal. Nepotism, factionalism, corruption were attributed to public sector. A bureaucrat who attends the security of the union becomes reactive. The number of bureaucratic hurdles a decision has to overcome were largely to the centralized structure. So this did not stop here. After a policy is framed, the execution is much more complex and time-consuming. Lack of monitoring, evaluation allowed discrepancies and leakages. That means the law ekta pass korje. However, it implementation korne bishi problem odase because law do bishi complex hoise and time consuming. Time bishi consume korse etu law do interpret korle and lack of monitoring and evaluation. That means etu suppose ekta policy ekta frame korse hulo etu kina monitor koro kina evaluate koro etu bi lack kore dekhe bureaucracy. Hence, the discretionary power multiplied when political prerogative nexus was set up. That means politicians or bureaucracy kan kita mili jaise are the problem do tangor hui jaise. Weak civil society means moana civil society kan weak takala media, social media, newspapers and others, and absence of technology failed to expose the above limitation. Hence, the structure of Indian governance and its centralized approach was prime reason for the poor performance of public sector. So these are some of the problems that hindered the growth of the public sector in India. So the question has been completed. Next, the next question: the prismatic model of rakes is equally applicable to developing as well as developed societies. Comment. So Ricks to kun the Frederick Ricks aro he was one of the main proponents of comparative public administration. Comparative public administration ba ki koise to taiba ekta underdeveloped country or developed country kana political administrative system to compare koise aro tana bal bia do sob evaluate karna kundu bala se to accept kurse or kundu bia se to reject kurse. So comparative public administration to risks pa shuru kurse aro in the same line taiba prismatic model to tai banaise. So prismatic model to ke jogule to first of all ekta simple science la ekta principle ko that is dispersion of light. That is ekta prism ekta glass ekta itu first Isaac Newton ba koise ki kita white light dede ai itu prism the hit korna tai satta color ja, and this color is also known as VIBGYOR, VIBGYOR. That is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. So ekta white light ekta tai disperse ina satta color ja. So itu principle do tai Riggs devi apply kurse. That is ekta ekta side te underdeveloped country ase aro tai kita jaise tai bishi olai je that is developed ase means ekta bia ekta aro ekta bal ekta to tai majode tai change hoise to that means white color ba tai color different hoise that means we can understand in the concept like ekta poor manu ekta tai kita काम करना चाहो tai rich हो जाओ so this is the prismatic model so risk pa koise ki itu prismatic model pa develop or underdeveloped society to applicable as ko that means underdeveloped karna ki principle ase tana administrative principle ase itu developed countries te tana uta devi apply koribo pare aro vice versa devi apply koribo pare that means duita devi apply koribo pare that means let's take a comparison of two countries for example Pakistan just say Myanmar is very disturbed country now Myanmar ekta developing society is that means tai thik se develop hone aro ekta United States will be very developed country so duita la administrative system alag alag thake that means tai purely military ase Myanmar do and United States to it's a democratic country so risks pa ki koise kile to Myanmar la although the administrative system to military there may be some aspects of the Myanmar administrative systems like universal access to food so this the principle to United States TV nai so this can be applicable here in the same way United States la freedom of individuals that means citizen can get freedom there so this aspect of administrative system is applicable in Myanmar so vice versa so this explains the prismatic model of risks so answer you can write it as risks try to capture the transition of developing to developed society in its prismatic model I've already told you ekta underdeveloped ekta kita olai jabo tai develop ho jabo so itu mojode tai develop hoise so this is explained by the prism it is the intermediate state when society absorbs some of the features of the developing countries a society and replaces it with the developments koanishna yete ki principle dagodo developing countries can be accept kuro pare the administrative system of subsystem of prismatic society is also called Sala model it Sala model bhi koi and is seen to have features of both ends of the spectrum that means both underdeveloped or developed economy developed administrative system na elements ase universalization of laws is there but the implementation is absent that means developed countries they universal law ase but it implement hodo under it developing countries they nai differentiation of service is there that means alag service thaigo pare police post office or doctors engineers thaigo pare but integration of is not efficient yet with problems of overlapping that means tana differences to bishi holai influential sections use modern amenities at their disposal but retain traditional thoughts and social religious influence nepotism and corruption breeds on immature polity so nepotism and corruption are all aspects of underdeveloped that means underdeveloped countries they itu properties kanto they dikibo a lot of economic subsystem of the prismatic model also called the bazaar candy model also validates this above the market force of demand and supply as well as religious social ethnic factors influence the economy that means market forces of demand and supply itu developed countries the way especially in capitalist economies or as well as religious social and ethnic factors itu underdeveloped countries the bishi caste or religion they focus kore so idu bhabe economy they affect kore in proper regulation of a diverse range of services results in difference of quality price and satisfaction of customers wide gap in wages exists for the same work fueling motivation to work by illegitimate means thus a careful examination of prismatic society points out that many features of the developing society still exist and are at different stages of transformation konishna ekta developing countries ekta bishi taila elements thake aro tai aste aste tai develop countries de develop hole ase. So etu mojo de kiki olai, therefore it is the prismatic model. If the prismatic model is evaluated in developing countries and developing society, it will be found to be equally applicable. So moi age de konishna underdeveloped economies kanla underdeveloped societies kanla elements that we can implement in developing countries and vice versa. So this is the prismatic model of risks. So with this the video has been completed. I hope you all understood something, and thank you all for watching, and have a great time, and thank you.